Good day, guys. My presentation introduces a research proposal titled The Influence of Short-Form Video Advertising on Purchase Intention Among Universities at University Students at UCSI University. This study focuses on four important dimensions of short-form video advertising, which are entertainment, informativeness, credibility, and interactive. It examines how these four dimensions are related to purchase intention among university students at UCSI University. This presentation will cover the introduction, literature review, methodology, and expert contribution of the study. Okay. The presentation follows the three main chapters of the research proposal. Chapter 1 introduces the research background, problem statement, objectives, questions, and frameworks. Chapter 2 previews literature and identifies the research gap. Chapter 3 explains the quantitative research methodology, including sampling, questionnaire design, and data analysis. Okay, the background of the study begins with the rapid growth of short-form video platforms. Platforms such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts have become important spaces of advertising and brand communication. Compared with traditional advertising, short-form video advertisements are usually brief, visual, entertaining, and interactive. They often use music, editing, content creators, and to attract attention. Since university students are active digital media users, that this advertising format is particularly relevant to student consumer behavior. However, the growth of short-form video advertising creates an important research problem. Although many brands use short videos to communicate with young consumers, not every advertisement successfully creates purchase intention. The effectiveness may depend on the characteristic of the advertisement itself. Previous studies have examined Generation Z consumers, TikTok users, online shoppers, and consumers in different countries. However, limited research specific focus on university students at UCSI University. Therefore, the study addresses this gap by examining short-form video advertising within a Malaysia university context. Okay, the key variables, the main independent variables is short-form video advertising. In this study, it is measured through four dimensions. The first dimension is entertainment, which refers to whether an advertisement is enjoyable, creative, interesting, and attractive. The second is informativeness, which refers to useful and relevant product information. The third dimension is credibility, meaning the truthworthiness and believability of the advertising message of source. The fourth dimension is interactivity, including features such as likes, comments, shares, links, and creators' responses. The dependent variable is purchase intention, which refers to the viewing game's willingness to consider and search for or buy a product after viewing an advertisement. The research objectives, research questions, and are directly aligned with four advertising dimensions. RO1 examines the relationship between entertainment and purchase intention. R2 examines informatives and purchase intention. R3 examines credibility and purchase intention. Finally, R4 examines interactivity and purchase intention. These research questions follow the same structure by asking whether each dimension is related to purchase intention among UCSI university students. Based on previous lecture, H1 to H4 predict significant positive relationship. In other words, higher entertainment, informativeness, credibility, and interactive are expected to be occasioned with higher purchase intention. Okay, this slide presents the conceptual framework of the study. On the left is short-form video advertising, responsive by entertainment, informative, credibility, and interactivity. They are the independent variables. On the right is purchase intention, which is dependent variable. Purchase intention includes the intention to consider, search for, or buy a product. The framework proposes that these advertising characteristics are related to student purchase intention. The theoretical framework is based on stimulus organism response theory, as known as the SOR theory. In this study, the stimulus refers to short-form videos advertising, particularly and entertainment, informativity, credibility, and interactivity. The organizing response students' internal evaluation after seeing the advertisement. This may include attitude, perception, trust, interest, and perceived value. Finally, the response is the purchase intention. Therefore, SOR help explain how the advertising stimuli may influence the internal elevation and eventually lead to an intention of purchase. This study has both practical and academic significance. For researchers, the study provides evidence for Malaysia university context and contributes to research on digital advertising and consumer behavior. The Chapter 2, Literature Review Overview. Chapter 2 reviews previous studies related to short-form video advertising and purchase intervention. This structure helps contact previous findings directly and variables in present study. Entertainment is the first advertising dimension. It refers to whether an advertisement is enjoyable, interesting, creative, and attention-grabbing. However, entertainment alone may not be enough. If the product message is unclear, viewers may remember the video but not develop purchase intention. The second dimension is formatness. It refers to ability of an advertisement to prove useful, relevant, and understandable information. Short-form video advertisements may provide information about product benefits, price, functions, usage, or product demonstrations. However, because short videos are brief, the information needs to be clear and easy to understand. Credibility refers to the perceived trustworthiness, responsibility, and of advertising content. This is important because consumers may question whether online promotion content is sponsored or based. Previous research suggests that trust and credibility can support purchase intention. Therefore, credibility is included as one of the main protections in this study. The fourth advertisement dimension is interactivity. Interactivity means that audiences are able to respond and engage well with advertising content. Unlike traditional advertising, these features These features allow immediate participation and communication. This may increase engagement with the advertising message and may also strengthen purchase intention. Okay. After review pre-studies, 3 major research gaps were identified. First, many previous studies were conducted outside Malaysia, including countries such like China, Indonesia. Consumer behavior may differ across different cultural or social contexts. Second, many studies focus on broad groups such as generation Z consumers, online shoppers, the users rather than students for a specific university. Third, some studies examine TikTok marketing, influence the marketing or an electronic word of mouth instead of short form videos advertising as a broader advertising format. Therefore, this study focuses on specials on UCSI University students on the 4 select advertising dimensions. Okay, chapter 3 explains how the research will be conducted. The study used a quantitative method with a cross-sectional. Okay, a quantitative method is suitable because the study aims to measure variables using numerical data, test and examine the statistical relationship. No variables will be exterminated multiplied. Instead, students will report their perceptions of entertainment, informativeness, creativity, and interactivity, together with the purchase intention. The relationships between these variables will then examined statistical. The touch production consists of students who are currently enrolled in UCSI University. The minimum sample size was estimate using G-power with 4 practical variables. The minimum requirements is approximately entirely 5 respondents. However, the study will aim to collect 100 value responses. The research instrument is a questionnaire created using Google Forms. The main measurement items use a 5-point like scale ranging from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. Before the main data collection, the questionnaire will undergo expert review and applied study to improve clarity, validity, and reliability. Okay, responses will remain anonymous and confidential. Personal information such as name, students' IDs, phone numbers, and personal email address will not be required. The collection data will only be used for academic research purposes. The data collection will follow several steps. First, the questionnaire will be developed according to the research variables and objectives. And the final Google Forms like link and QR code will be distributed through platforms such as CN, WhatsApp, WeChat, Instagram, and student groups, as well as select locations of campus. Okay, the data analysis. After data collection, the responses will be analyzed by ambient synthesis. The multiplied researchers will examine the combined predictivity, contribution, entertainment, informativeness, creativity, and interactivity to purchase intention. The statement significance level will be set by the applied standard being 0.5. Okay. The expert contribution of the research is both academic and practical. The study provides a more specific understanding of student consumers at university. It may identify which advertising dimensions have stronger relationship with purchase intention. The findings may also help marketers develop more relevant, informative, credible, and interactive short-form video advertisements for university students' audiences. Okay, the conclusion. In conclusion, the proposal examines the influence of short-form video advertising on purchase intention among UCSI University students. 4 advertising dimensions are examined: entertainment, informativeness, creativity, and interactive. The The SOR theory provides the theoretical foundation for understanding the relationship between advertising and consumer responses. Okay. The references. There are some of the main academic references used to support the research proposal, including previous studies on short-form video advertising, purchase intention research methodology, and statistical power analysis. Okay. This concludes the research proposal presentation. Thank you for watching and for your attention.